Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Disgaea, Hour of Darkness. It's going to be episode 6B, so we're going to be doing a lot of, basically just team coordination stuff, some, what's the word I'm looking for here? Administrative work, there we go. But a couple of things, actually, is even though this episode, a couple of quick things before we get started. This episode, despite the fact that it's going to be primarily administrative type stuff, some power leveling, etc., 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 there's actually a couple things I'm going to cut out, that I have cut out since, or between episode 6 and episode 6B, this one we're about to record, so I'm just going to go over those real quick. The first thing is that for some of the stuff we're going to need to do later, we needed to upgrade everybody's Dark Assembly rank, and those tests are all pretty monotonous. I mean, it's the same test every time. It's fairly straightforward, fairly simple, so it's just kind of a time sink. So I just went ahead and skipped over that. The important part there is basically everybody is now rank 3 with the Dark Assembly, so they can do some various stuff. The second thing we did is we took a little bit of time and went ahead and got an increased shop quality bill passed. That also is fairly monotonous because it's a little bit expensive at this point in the game to try and do that. So if you fail, you want to reload your game and try again. So it's a whole lot of attempt, reload, attempt, reload, attempt, reload until it passes. So that also is pretty boring, so I wanted to just skip over that, especially because I didn't know how long it was going to take. So shop quality has been increased some. And to go along with that, we've also gone ahead and taken some time to upgrade everybody's weapons. It's been since like the beginning of the game, you know, to basically tutorial level, since we did much of anything with anybody's weapons. And we had a big influx of money, and as you saw during the last episode, we were falling a little bit behind, so I went ahead and took the time to upgrade people's weapons. That also is fairly monotonous because, you know, the shop resets basically every time you open the shop, so it's a whole lot of just like talk to the shopkeeper, open the shop, see if they have what I want. If they don't, exit back out, talk to the shopkeeper, reopen the shop, and that gets pretty boring pretty quickly. So yeah, just skipped over that. Short version, we've upgraded everybody's weapons. And last point is during those equipment changes, I discovered a couple of interesting things having to do with stats and masteries and aptitudes. The short version of this is I am fairly strongly considering switching Etna over to being a spear user. The justification behind this is that, as you know, axes have a negative hit rating associated with them. Like, they hurt your hit by equipping them. And it turns out that that negative effect is also affected by your stat aptitude. So, for example, Axel has only an 80% aptitude with the hit stat, so the negative effect of equipping an axe is only 80% of what it would be for him, whereas Etna has 100% aptitude for hit and always will. So basically Etna's at a larger disadvantage using an axe, so it does kind of make me think that using an axe is somewhat suboptimal for her, but I don't really want to turn her. I actually didn't look at all of her other options. I always knew I was going to have her as either a spear user or an axe user, and now there's a bit of a question as to whether she should be an axe user because she is taking more of a hit against her hit. But I'm really quite a bit on the fence about that one, so I'm pretty open to being influenced on that. If you have an opinion, feel free to leave it in the comments or something like that, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll turn her into a spear user. I mean, we're not so far into the game that it's too late to do that, so maybe we'll turn her into a spear user. Maybe we won't. But it does have some interesting team composition implications, because as it is, we have 10 front row characters right now, and we want to get that down to 9, because I know there's a monster class I'm going to want to be using later. So we need to ditch one of our front line characters. Now I know that we're going to be keeping Belle. We're going to turn her into a Ronin in a couple of minutes here. And the Ronin's really good. I also know one of our other fighters we're going to turn into a ninja, but that leaves us with 2 fighters that we have, between 2 fighters, we have to get rid of one, because we have one too many for how many I want in our army. So basically, one person between, I want to say not Belle, because she's a sword user for a reason, but I would say one person between Axel, Musashi the Brawler, and Terra the Brawler needs to leave the team. And that also has that combines with the question of switching Etna over to spears in an interesting way, because, you know, if Etna goes to being a spear user, well, do we still want two axe users on the team? If so, probably one of our fist users, one of our fist users has to turn into an axe user, so they would have been sinking stuff into the wrong place, or maybe we switch Etna to a spear and we go with only one axe user in the long run. Or maybe we just keep Etna as an axe user and we pick one of our brawlers to scoot on out. It's pretty hard to say. So we're gonna give that some thought for a minute here, and with all that done and said, I think that wraps it up. But yeah, if you have any contributions to any of those issues, Etna as a spear user, who we want to lose off the team, who we want to switch to an axe user, if Etna switches, etc., 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 let me know. Like I said, say so down in the comments or something. Alright, but with all of that established, we can finally go ahead and get right on into it. And I think the very first thing that we're going to do, actually, is, like I said, we're going to go ahead and turn Belle, who's good with swords, we're going to reincarnate her into a level 1 character as a Ronin. I guess I should go ahead and show the new classes that we've unlocked, because I was talking about all the interesting stuff that happens at level 10. Excuse me. So we've got a level 2 scout, or a tier 2 scout that we can do now. Well, I don't think we're actually going to bother to make this change, because it's a little bit of increase in the base stats, especially in the hit, which is nice. But he's going to go back to level 1, and essentially I want to unlock higher tiers of all of these characters before I reincarnate them into their best forms. So our mages we're not going to touch. We unlocked Knight, but honestly I'm really not a fan of Knights. If you look at their stats, right, like, they're not great on HP. They, relatively speaking, they have a low HP stat, they have a high mana stat, their attack stat is not great, their defense stat is pretty awful, they have decent intelligence, but like, just in general, I feel like her stats are overall pretty underwhelming, and then you combine that with looking at the aptitudes and the weapon affiliations, and it's just like, she's a hybrid, and it feels like she's bad at everything. And you combine this with the fact that her movement is actually only 4. I feel like the best thing you could say about this class is if you want a mage that doesn't die in one hit, you could do this, but then it's going to be a weak mage. And that just feels like committing to not playing well. So I don't think I'm ever going to use a knight anywhere in this game at any time. But yeah, let's go ahead and... So yeah, the two characters, we have unlocked a knight, but we've also unlocked the Ronin class, which is really good, and the Ninja class, which is one of my favorites. So all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and turn Belle into a Ronin, who's really good. We're going to make her an average Ronin. She is going to lose about half of her sword skills, which is unfortunate, but she is going to get some bonus stats, and we want to ask ourselves what bonus stats we want to give her. I feel like her health is pretty good for a frontliner at the moment. You know, you compare her to most of the base people here. I mean, it's the same as Brawlers, and Brawlers are pretty much just giant walking HP tanks. So I think she's good on health. Her attack is relatively high rest of the other fighters. You know, it's 14, where everybody else is 12 or lower. Her defense is a little bit low. I mean, it's not as low as a Brawler, but it's not as high as a Warrior either. And the other stats I just don't care about. You know, her int, speed, hit, and resilience, I'm just not worried about right now. So I think I'm probably going to give her, like, 1 extra point of defense and a bunch of extra attack. And we're going to keep her as Belle. We'll give her Oh, it looks like she actually gets some extra stats from reincarnating already. So we'll give her one defense and a bunch of attack. And that should do her. And let's see, from that point on, Axel being a dedicated axe user, the only thing I would think about turning him into is whether I want him as a ninja axe user instead of a brawler axe user. So for example, you can see the male warrior has an A in axes, and for stats he's 100% health, 100% attack, and 100% defense. Compare that to a ninja who's 100% health, 100% attack, but only 80% defense. You also compare that to the base starting stats. The ninja actually has more health, also has more attack, has significantly lower defense. He has 75% of the warrior's defense and a lower aptitude to boot. But he has quite a bit more speed. And the other thing that actually really makes me like this idea is that ninjas have a really high counter rating, so he's gonna be swinging his axe a lot and getting it up levels. Also, ninjas, they have an S rank with fists, but they do have an A rank with axes, just like warriors, which is a little counterintuitive. It seems silly to me that ninjas are better with axes than they are with swords, but okay. So yeah, I think for now I'm going to leave Axel as a warrior, just because I don't see any hugely compelling reason to transmigrate him. I do want at least one ninja in the long run, so either Terra or Musashi is going to want to become a ninja. The question is, who do I just like between them? And the simple fact is, I feel like Musashi's got the more manly name going on here. You know, for a ninja, Musashi feels like the correct name. We're going to turn him into an average ninja, and he will stay with that. And I did not think about what bonuses I want to give him. This is actually kind of a toughie. I think I'm going to do the inverse of what I did for the Ronin and give him 1 attack and 2 defense, just so he's tougher on the front line. Let's see. So that's those two. Now, I don't think there's any other character switching I want to do. Laharl and Etna are fine. Bell and Musashi just transmigrated. Our mages are fine the way they are. Our scout is going to stay the way he is for a while. Same with Axel. So I guess for now, we're going to not be using Terra for a bit and see how that works out. Alright. Alrighty, so, with all of that established, I have re-equipped everybody's weapons, or, I'm sorry, I equipped everybody's weapons, but not their armors, so we should go ahead and fix that. Give Musashi the Power Gauntlet, which is still amazing. And I think after this, the first thing we're going to need to do is get those level 1 characters up to level 10, just so they're capable of doing something. And I think probably the best way to do that would be to go through the item world. Perhaps not. Actually, I think the first thing I'm going to do is work on getting Laharl up to probably level 20 by abusing that one level we examined in the last episode. It was the beginning of the frozen wastelands, I believe. And I guess that was a little bit silly. I probably should have waited to transmigrate those characters until after I'd been power leveling everybody already. But, oh well, we'll live with it. I do want Laharl to get this, so I'm actually sort of suddenly feeling very stupid. Unless I'm mistaken, I think I sold the sword. I just realized I sold the sword that we had leveled up to level 10. You know, its stats weren't as good. Was it a sword I leveled up? I think it was a sword. And it had statisticians in it, which I learned I was pronouncing incorrectly. I feel pretty dumb about selling off those 12 statisticians, but we'll make do. We are going to turn Laharl into a giant tank monster. Now these give about 15 to 20 defense, and we will compare those to the Imperial Seals, which all do better than that. So we're just going to give him triple seals, and that will be good for him. We'll finish equipping everybody with a little bit of armor. We'll just sort of make this up as we go. We're not going to worry about optimization too much at this exact moment. Where is his... Ah, here it is. He also needs those glasses, and... this guy needs his axe back. And we'll give him some armor, and we'll give... take that off so that somebody can use it. Guess we don't necessarily... well... we're going to give these two some bonus health. We're going to give them all of our muscle items that will increase their health stats. Or perhaps just her, actually. And then we will distribute the last of our armor, and then we'll be ready to head in here. 72... 78. So Etna will get another piece of armor. We do have these belts that we can use to increase power, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So... and we will save the game one more time. And then we will run off into this triple experience. I'm sorry, not double. Not triple, double experience. I believe that was in the... what was that level? It was the Blazing Core, I think. Road of Flames? Yeah, this was the one. Now, Laharl's a pretty tanky beast. We're going to go ahead and use these two to combine these monsters, because they're pretty disposable. I actually did not want that to kill, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to go ahead and combine these two to make a level 36. Which also means that Etna wants to do some work here. Actually, I don't. I don't think I've done this level since I bought the new weapons, so I'm actually a little bit worried about killing them accidentally. So, let's actually just go ahead and end our turn. Pretty sure those two are going to run up and kill my two little newbies there. And I'm pretty sure she's going to live through this just because of her bonus health items. Indeed, she does. And that's pretty funny. A level 18 can't one-shot a level 1. And let's use one more disposable character to throw these together. If I was smart, I would soften those up first, but that's okay. And now Etna can use a pretty big attack to try and soften this guy up.
You're dead.
That did about 100 damage, and she's got 170 attack. So if we move her out of the way and bring Axel out, who has about the same attack, And he does not know that ability, so this one will be a little bit weaker, which is fantastic.
I'll finish this.
And that should be perfect for Laharl to just go up and execute this guy. Actually also going to have him use a special attack, because I don't want him to team attack with that brawler and have her end up having him end up feeding experience over to her. And that's 3 levels for Laharl. Excuse me. And now we will do something similar to what we did before. Combine these. Etna will soften this guy up.
Go! See?
And then lastly, we will have a disposable character of some kind to move on out and combine those. Now, I would be concerned about combining these and having this guy be the finished product, because this guy is significantly higher tier of a monster, so a high level of one of him would be bad. But thankfully, the what are these called? Jacks, I guess, had a higher combined level, so they went ahead and dominated that fusion. Now we just gotta soften this guy up. It's not quite enough, so we'll go ahead and end our turn. And, it's a weird... If I want this guy to get over to here, it's sort of a weird throwing pattern. I should really have Axel be doing the softening up here, because he needs to get those mastery levels on his axe, so he can go ahead and get up to the Colossal Fissure. Etna is at level 6 for an axe, and Axel is at level 5. Interesting. It seems like Etna's axe is going up quite a bit faster. That's okay. But yeah, so for as long as we can, we're going to have Axel do the softening up with his abilities so that he can be practicing his axe mastery. We'll get everybody healed up. Laharl is level 16. That's decent. I think I want to probably have him go one more set of kills, up to about 20 or so. So we'll just run right back in there. Excuse me. Excuse me. And he learned a new ability. It's an interesting area of effect it's got. Skip 2 squares, hit the 3 beyond that. Let's see how that works. How does this do for damage? Costs 20 mana? Okay. Wow. Pretty good. It's cool that he has a ranged ability now. Not only that, it's a line AoE that doesn't require the square on the opposite side to be clear. So that's pretty abusable, actually. She doesn't want to be the one to do that. I'm actually strongly considering combining this guy yet again to make him like a level... What would this be? Plus 22 plus 12 is 34 plus 36 is 70? Make this a level 70 guy? Because I'm not having too much trouble with this level 36 guy. Guess we'll see how it goes. But to do that, I'm going to need people to do combining with. So, guess for now we can end our turn. See how this goes. We know we're not going to use this character at all. Pretty sure... Maybe we'll use Teemo. I'm not sure. We might want to use our healers, so for moving out and combining, we can probably do this. Let's go ahead and soften this guy up.
I'll finish this.
Yeah, his axe has quite a ways to go before he learns Colossal Fissure. And we will move him here, I suppose. I think if I go ahead and do this combination, somebody essentially significant is going to die. So just go ahead and do that. Yeah, despite the fact that this guy is going up levels, like he's level 58 now, just, his defense is just not going up, right? Like, I'm really not scared of this guy. I'm not scared of not being able to kill this guy in the slightest.
Go! You're dead.
144. Seems fine.
I'll finish this. Be gone.
And that should be an easy kill for Laharl secure now. Laharl to secure. Oh, sorry about that. We'll toss him right here, and Lahar will come on out. I'm really curious what level he's going to go up to. I'm going to guess, like, 5 levels? Level 20? Level 20, 21? Because 16 plus 5 is definitely 20. Another really amazing thing about doing this is it looks like the bonus money you get at the end is dependent on the level of the monsters that you killed, because I am getting a ton of money for doing this mission over and over. Like, a ton. I just got 9,000 money for doing that. 23? Pretty decent. I think that is a solid strategy for how we're going to do this. And I guess we'll level up. Who's next? Axel? We'll give Laharl. Let's see. We'll go ahead and give our ninja this muscle ace just so he doesn't die instantly. And we'll give Laharl some defensive items. Excuse me. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Ah, it's fine. We'll just end like this. It's funny, because I'm pretty sure this is going to start a long counter chain. But not one that does any damage. Let's see... Terra can do this combination. We actually need to make room to do the next combination, so... that won't work. I guess we'll have Laharl do the next combination. Like that. Now this guy's got 400 health, and we can go like this, and like this, to put some beat down on this guy. And this is one of the things this is one of the reasons I just love axe users so much, is because when you're doing this power leveling type of thing, you can just surround him and beat the crap out of him with these single target abilities. Right, if this was swords, like there'd be all sorts of like weird implications where maybe I'd be accidentally slashing my own guys or any number of other things. What's the most efficient way to do this? I guess... this guy goes here. These two, once again, use their abilities to soften someone up.
This.
Pretty close to lethal, actually. And then we need to get some combinations over here going on, which means... would this work? I believe that would work. So put this guy here. No, he already acted. That's unfortunate. I guess Ellie can throw this guy here, and then Laharl can lift him and throw him here. And that should do it. And then next turn I'll be able to kill that guy off pretty easily. Ah! Axel died. That's unfortunate. Axel obviously was the one I was planning on having get this kill. This guy's weak to ice, so let's have our gunner get in here and do something. That's not much. Let's see how we do with some offensive magic. Like, I'm nearly certain... like, this just will not be lethal. So let's see what this does for damage. 57. That's pretty decent. So probably, if we do something like a Mega Ice into a Whirlwind... a Hurricane Slash is what it's called. Into a Skull Splitter. This might be lethal. He's like 232, I think, so we have 200 health to go. This is going to be 110 of that. So we need to get another 90.
Die.
Which this is not going to be.
Drop dead.
Now, just to cheese this, we're going to do something pretty tacky. No, we're not, because we don't have anybody that can act. Oh well, guess that'll do. I guess Etna will not get that kill. Guess we'll have our gunner do it. I mean, there's no reason he can't. Level 21. Let's go ahead and check what that prize is. Rooster blood. Just a healing item. And we'll save. Excuse me. Yep, just continuing the combination chain here. Etna can put some hurt on this guy, because he's nowhere near dead.
Go!
I know I said I was going to have Axel do all of the softening up, but the truth is, since he's the one that's going to be leveling, I want to go ahead and hold him back for the moment. That's not where I meant to move to. He'll go there, and pretty sure Ellie's just gonna die here. I'm not too worried about anything else. Those two might both die. No, just the one. Is there a good way to combine these? Hopefully this way they'll just gang up on the ninja and everything will be fine. Pretty much, yeah. Etna dies again. Combining these is going to be awkward just because they keep not lining up. Not only that, this guy has pretty high health, so let's actually hit him with some ice stuff to weaken him up. 0. That's not good. He has really high resist. Oh, I made a drastic mistake. This is the guy that's one class up. Excuse me. You can tell because this guy is orange-faced. And this guy is red-faced, right? Like, compare the stats on these guys. He's level 34 with 546 health. This is 36. I mean, it's just... yeah, the stats are quite a bit different. That's not so good. But what we can do is cheese this a little bit. And we're just going to lift this guy and hold him during my turn. That way, I mean, Flan's almost certainly going to die here, from what I know about damage, but yeah. But it means it skips his turn, so essentially I can control who dies to him. And now, I've been playing around with this ability a little bit, so we'll do this. This isn't going to be a lot of damage. Alright, so that hit for about 100 damage. It's not fantastic. Like, nothing I throw at this guy is going to kill him, so we'll just go ahead and throw everything at him.
I'll finish this!
Here I come!
I might actually lose this one. That would be embarrassing. Thankfully, he didn't jack rush me there. That would have killed all three of those guys, and I instantly would have lost. How do I do this? Well, this guy's at like 237. I think well, no, I can't lift him, throw him, and kill him. So I actually really need to run these two over here and have Laharl strike from range. That'll do. Alright, that guy's starting to get within range of Axel being able to lethal him out, so I think that means we can go ahead and put these two here. Axel does not want to stand there because he will die to a Jack Rush. Where does he want to stand? What's this guy's movement? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, he can Jack Rush any of this. It would be unfortunate if one of these two has to sneak that kill, but I guess we'll have to chance it. I don't see any way around this. Yeah, I don't see any way around this. If I get unlucky, he'll Jack Rush me, and both Laharl and Axel will die. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Thankfully, Laharl didn't die. This is not where I wanted to be channeling this experience, but I guess it will do. Experience is experience, right?
Here I come!
So now our scout is pretty big, level 25. Get everybody healed, save our game. Because the thing is, you know, I'm a little bit playing with fire here. Just because of that Jack Rush ability, he can mess up most of my team. And so it is not impossible for me to lose this and get a game over. In which case I have to go back to my last save point.
Finish this!
And I actually want to deploy my guys in a line formation, just so they don't die. Oh no, this is actually fine. I'm sorry, I was going to say I want them in a line formation with no edges, so they can't get Jack Rushed, but this is actually fine. But I want to make sure to combine this guy with this guy, so that whatever we're building is an orange-headed pumpkin and not a red one. I wonder if there's a clever way to do this. I believe there is. We'll do it like this. Easy. Both of those two are going to die now, but that's okay. Excuse me. The ninja actually probably won't die. Now we can work on softening up this guy. He's at 478. Let's see what our magic does. Some. And like I said, I specifically deployed these three in a 3-length line that has no open end tile, so he can't like go here and Jack Rush me. I mean, this guy couldn't move that far anyway, but you get what I'm saying. Now we have one more person that can lift and throw. And our ninja can lift and throw, and that guy is ready to get owned. We'll just do it like that. And I think we ought to be able to kill him next turn. Hurricane Slash into a double Mega Ice. Actually, let's start with a Colossal Fissure into a Hurricane Slash.
Go! See?
I think it's going to be about 200 damage. Maybe a bit more, depending on how strong Laharl is.
Here I come!
Or a bit less, depending on how strong Laharl is. He's at 300. So 1 Mega Ice and 2 Mega Ice should do about 100.
Won't hold back.
Yeah, 114. Putting him at 186. Which I think means he's in range to be killed next turn. I don't think I want to try and push him over this turn. Excuse me. Now, Etna plus Laharl did about... See, Etna did about 95, I think, and Laharl did 60-ish. So I ought to be able to have those two do their thing. And I will actually, just to make sure that it is not lethal, I will split them up so it doesn't combo. I'm actually going to take it back. I think this guy is going to die to Axel, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Yeah, that looks like lethal.
I'll finish this.
Level 21. Easy. Alright, who next? Etna, I guess. Oh wow, that's amazing. And back to the Blazing Core. Excuse me. Sorry about that. You know, I do apologize for the cough. Like, you would reasonably think that a person ought to not be trying to produce content when they have a cough. But the truth is, I have a little bit of a chronic cough. Like, there's usually, like, I'm going to say 4 months out of a year where I tend to have a cough. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's just a small cough like this one, so it does kind of hang on, and there's not a ton I can do about it. So I do appreciate you for being patient with it, though. Wow, these are all really not where I want them to be. I guess we'll hide the ninja in the corner and let everybody move closer. And do something like... something like that. Also, because we did it this way, this guy can't actually move out or jack rush anybody anymore, so we can go ahead and bomb him with spells. As well as our gunner.
Here I come.
Maybe I should have had the Hurricane Slash on the end of that combo, so it would have gotten its damage boosted by more.
Won't hold back.
You're probably supposed to do your biggest attack at the end, so that it gets the biggest damage boost. But this will do. So I guess we'll go ahead and repeat that. Mega Ice. Mega Ice. Mega Ice. Auto Attack. Axel. I don't think I want to have Laharl do a Hurricane Slash, because I feel like we might be starting to approach lethal. 535, I mean, let's say this is 50 plus 50 plus 50 is 150. Say he hits for 70 is 220. This is 3-something. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wait on Laharl. Like, sure, I suspect this guy will be about 200 life left, which is plenty, and not in any threat of dying from Laharl. But I also think that right around 200 health left is a fine place to be.
I'll finish this.
243. I will go ahead and have him combo this out in a non... Sorry, technique this guy out in a non-combo. That should put him about where I want him. Right about 160, which is right about where I want him. And those two are dead. And now, we're leveling Etna, who has a pretty good attack, so I think we can just go Mega Ice 1 into Mega Ice 2. This will not be lethal. Into a Colossal Fissure. And Etna skyrockets to level 21. Easy. Who next? Let's see, we've got Laharl, Etna, the 3 mages, and that's it. So I guess... Well, I mean outside of these two. These two. So I guess we'll go ahead and do these two next. They'll be the toughest, I think, just because they don't really have health to work with. But we'll see what we can do. I also want to check out their abilities. She does still have Hurricane Slash. Great. I forgot to re-equip Etna with armor. Oh well.
I'll finish this.
But yeah, it is a little funny to me how essentially ludicrously easy it is to level here. Just because, like, I mean, within a range, right? But we are easily going from level 10 to level 21 in just one go here. How do I want to do this? If I lift and throw like this guy might actually... no, that doesn't make sense. He's still going to hit Laharl. Well, that's probably fine. We'll go ahead and bring out the Ninja and the Ronin, just to be right. And amazingly, Laharl is not going to die here. let's see then. What's the best... I guess this would be the best way to throw the combination together. And then we can run for the hills, so we won't die. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull everybody back for now. Offer up my ninja or Laharl as a sacrifice. And then we will get out there and smack this guy around. Do a Hurricane Slash. I'm actually a little bit too far away. My base tile is actually a little bit too far away, so we're going to do this instead. This guy should move on over, but not be able to attack. Yep, perfect. See, our ninja's dead. Both of them are dead. So the only way to move this guy is actually by lifting and throwing, but that's okay. Apparently Etna learned a new ability. It's a sexy beat. It's powerful, but is it sexy?
Go!
You're dead.
How's Axel doing on his axe development? 5.5. Well, 5 and 40%.
I'll finish this.
We'll just keep softening this guy up. I'm actually, come to think of it, I'm not 100% certain that Vel can kill him. Well, Laharl's at 205 attack and she's at 165, so I feel like she ought to be able to deal decent enough damage. Yow. And he's at 124 health. So I'll probably just do some weak attacks here.
I'll finish this.
That was much stronger than I intended it to be. But at least we know Belle will be able to secure this kill. And she'll skyrocket to what? 20. That's funny. I guess it takes as much experience to get from 20 to 21 as it does to get from 1 to 20. So you see how the game really gets logarithmic with levels. 1 kill, and she goes up to level 20. Everybody else was at level 10, and the same kill is taking them up to 21. So, but I think that means she's fine. She's ready for combat, and we need to do it for our ninja. We'll equip Belle up with some armor. And Etna, I guess we'll give her a whole bunch of health items for no apparent reason. And I think pretty quickly here we'll be ready to move on. I mean, I guess we still have the mages to do, and that'll be a little bit of a pain. I guess the magic boost ability might be our best friend in that scenario.
this.
Excuse me.
I'll finish this.
And yet you did. You keep saying you'll finish this, but you keep not finishing it. I'm so not impressed with you right now. Not really. That's actually what I want him to be doing. I don't want him to be finishing this. And I will move... just like that is fine. +11 +12? How do I want to do this? Oh wait, Musashi's the next killer. We should not use him, because he will die a terrible death. So I guess we'll use Terra. She ought to be able to do some things. So if we do this lift plus this lift plus this lift, that looks great. Unfortunately, our other axe user cannot get in on the game here. Move Bell out of the way. This will be fine.
Go!
I mean, they're not going to have any trouble weakening that guy up. Nope, I want to do this with Axel. Get his weapon up.
I'll finish this.
$159 is unfortunately close. A little too close to where I want him to be, so I might have to chip him down with some ice spells. Or not. 528 resistance, that's not gonna happen. Drats. I guess we'll try a Hurricane Slash. I don't think this will kill. This should be fine. Eesh, so close. 31. Alright, I think we can get that. Go get him, Musashi. Fantastic. Now we've got to do some mages. That part will be harder, just because it seems like their resistance goes up a lot faster than their defenses do, at least relative to my attack. So we're going to go into the Blazing Core, back to the Road of Flames. Excuse me. And we'll just start combining people. This guy's got 392 health. We'll axe some of that down.
I'll finish this.
We do need a front line, just so that people don't die. That's not gonna work. Something like this. Get some magic boost on. I guess we'll have Ellie secure this kill. Apparently, I did not quite learn magic boost for everybody. How do I do this then? I guess Ellie goes here, Flan goes here, and Kasumi goes here? So I can go magic boost. Because I think once she does this, she's gonna master it, and then Flan can pick it up from her. Yes, indeed. Lovely. Her int is now 211, which is pretty high. I should have looked at what the base was. It's probably about the same as what my other mages is, so I can just look at that. Base is probably about 150 or so. Oh no, wait. Flan's been boosted. So 184. Well, it's fine. We can do another round of magic boosts. It'll get somewhere near the maximum. Although I do want to rearrange my team a little bit. Nope, that's wrong. There we go. Excuse me. I do believe he just killed his ally with that move. That's hilarious. Alright, I guess this guy's gonna be worth less experience than the others. Where's Etna? Etna. Get your butt on over there. I actually don't want Axel to stand there. So I guess we'll just do this first. Pretty decent. And... oh, Etna's still being held. Well, we want to make sure Axel does something just so he keeps leveling his axe.
I'll finish this.
192. I guess we'll have Ellie try this and see what her damage is like. I mean, her int is at 219, which is pretty good. But compare that to... I mean, it's tough to say, right? I actually don't know what the damage equation looks like at all. Right, because this guy's got 244 defense. Most of my characters have less attack than that, but they're doing, 100 damage per special, so it is difficult for me to know what this is supposed to be doing for damage. 219, 130. I don't think this Mega Ice is going to kill. Close. Maybe Flans can secure that one. He is at 9. There we go. Flan gets that kill. And yet, oh right, I was gonna say, interestingly, she only goes up to level 19, but it's because it's because there was the 12 levels worth of enemy that didn't get combined because he got killed. It's pretty amazing. We'll actually go ahead and equip that, because we're gonna need it. Because it has a bunch of bonus intelligence on it, and that will help us and our mages get through this leveling. Alright, 2 more runs. 1 for each mage. Maybe more if I fuck it up. Pardon my language.
Finish this.
Someone actually in chat was asking the other day why I decided to do a Let's Play of Disgaea. During that little bit where I was doing just administrative type stuff, I was actually streaming live. Typically I don't, just because I'm not able to interact with chat basically at all while I'm doing these recordings. But yeah, for a little bit I was able to be live, and somebody asked why I decided to do Disgaea, of all things. And it is one of my favorite... How do I want to do this? This guy? Yeah, this guy. It is one of my favorite tactical games of all time. There are better ones, sure. I mean, maybe more memorable ones from my childhood. Like, basically everybody who's played a tactics game has played... Final Fantasy Tactics at some point. I know a number of people that have played Ogre Battle as well, which is another one of my favorites. But the thing that really always gets me coming back to this game, or that always got me coming back to this game, I only played it once through, but I spent a bunch of hours in it. The reason I found it so obsessive was, or addicting, was because... Wait, where did Edna go? Is she out here? She was not out here yet. Mostly because of, the geocrystal system. Not just for that, but for the philosophy behind it. Oh, they already acted. Oops. I guess like this, and we'll actually have our ninja throw Etna somewhere she can be useful. But because of the philosophy behind the geocrystal system, which basically says, hey, if you're good at setting up dominoes in this really intelligent way, you'll do great. And I like that. I do like more of the thinking man's type of setup. I mean, that's the thing, is it's a strategic game, but it really commits to thinking tactically and planning. Oh wow, am I gonna kill this guy? So close. But I should not have ended my turn. I actually could have killed him with my mages there. That's alright. But yeah, strategy games in general, or tactical games in general like this, are designed... Oh, I should have been magic boosting my characters. I might not be able to kill this guy now. I am having a difficult time talking and playing at the same time. today, anyway. So, tactical games in general, you're supposed to think about. Like, you're supposed to plan ahead, coordinate, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, in general, they do an okay job of it. I'm actually going to change the order on these Mega Ices, because if he accidentally dies to the first one, or I'm sorry, he won't die to the first one, he might die to the second one, in which case we want someone who isn't Flan to get that. But yeah, tactical games are supposed to reward tactical thinking and planning, and so the Geocrystal type system basically just says, hey, how good are you, or how good are you at puzzles? Like, can you set up a domino effect and have something really amazing happen? And yeah, you can. So here's a bunch of bonus, you know? And I think that's pretty cool. Okay, I didn't do any damage with that. That's a little bit problematic. That means I'm gonna need to do some magic boosting. But before I can do that, I feel like I should just ordinary attack this guy. That won't kill him, right?
Die.
That's good. And I think after that I'm just gonna lift him and hold him. And that means she's gonna die during this turn. And he'll fall back onto the ground. But that means we can do some magic boosting. So yeah, I just really appreciate that the game says, hey look, we're a thinking game, let's reward you even more for thinking. It just commits to it, right? So I'll give you sort of a non-example of that, actually, is I have been playing Hearthstone as well, and for a really long time it was a... she won't kill him if she attacks, so we'll do that. But I need to then throw my ninja so he can get closer. Yeah, for a really long time, it was something that I felt like you had to be strategic to play. But that was back during the first, like, the basic game and maybe the first expansion. Those who are really old school with Hearthstone are going to call me on this, because they're going to be like, hey, what about, you know, Death Rattle Hunter? And yeah, that was pretty toxic, and I won't debate that, but at the same time, I felt like once you got past the point of, you know, are you going to lose on turn 2 or whatever, the game actually got interesting, just because there wasn't that much to do. I just want to execute this, because if this fails to kill, I'm going to pick him up. Yeah, okay. There just weren't that many options in Hearthstone. And over time, they released more and more games, or more and more expansions, in order to make that not be true. And then there was a good long while where aggro, like aggressive decks, just reigned 100% supreme. And it's so boring. It's just like, okay, I'm going to spend all this time to build a deck that's like, okay, what's in the meta, what cards counter what do I want to include as tech choices, blah, 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 blah. And then essentially you're playing the top 7 cards of your deck against the top 7 cards of their deck. And I don't mean the best 7 cards of your deck versus the best 7 cards of their deck. I mean top as in your deck's 30 cards, you're going to draw 7, and then the game is going to be decided. And it's just, it completely removes deck building as a part of the game when it plays like that. And so it got kind of boring to me over time just because of that. Interestingly, we are now into a control... Wow, I'm just not doing any damage with this. This is a little bit bad. I'm gonna have to do this again. Interestingly, we are now back into a control meta where games are not getting decided in the first 7 turns. Usually, it's more like I feel like typically people are still hitting turn 10, which at least means there's something interesting going on in your deck, you know? It at least gives you options. It's interactive, right? And that's... I realize this is now just kind of a rant about card games in general, but the problem with many card games, in my opinion, is that the strongest decks are the ones that do not interact with the opponent. Because if you remove what the opponent has in his deck as an element of whether you're going to win or not, you're more likely to win. Your deck is more stable. Okay, this is not good. I'm pretty sure my intelligence is maxed out, even with magic boost, and I'm not capable of doing any damage. So my mages might not be able to level this way. And in that case, we'll have to just level them through the storyline, I guess. Excuse me. And I guess that'll be that. So I guess we will be done with our power leveling. Heal everybody up. Check our prizes. Healing item. Sort everything up. Put everything in the warehouse. Sort everything up. And then I think strip everybody down so I can balance out armor and stats and whatnot. And after that, I think we'll be just about ready to proceed with the rest of the game. I'm secretly tempted to go do item walls and stuff, but I mean, it would be fun. It just wouldn't be maximally effective. There's no need to do it right now. I'm going to put all of these in the bank. And we're going to sort the bank. And we're going to equip some armor. Who's got the lowest armor? Musashi, of course, but that's because he has an armor penalty on his stats. A naturally low defense, I mean. 82 on the Ronin. I guess our warrior has the lowest natural armor, so we'll give him the two best for now, which would be this and this. And the Ronin is second best, or second worst, so we'll give her this and this. Puts her at 118 and warrior at 122. Ninja next, I will do... You know, I actually really like turning ninjas into glass cannons. So I'm going to give him a belt. I'm actually not going to worry about his defense at all. And in fact, I'm going to buff his speed, his attack, and his health. So I'll give him the biggest health item I have. That way, you know, he's going to take a good amount of damage, but he's going to have a ton of health and do a ton of damage back. What else? Maybe not a ton of damage. I guess his attack isn't that high relative to my other characters. He's got an attack of 199 compared to the Ronin's 243. So now Etna needs armor. We'll give her... I mean, these are essentially fungible. And then we'll do this and this for Laharo. And then we get to give out seals. Laharo will take the Devil Ring, of course, so he's the biggest, baddest dude. You know, maybe not, actually. So this gives 35 int, which is not a small amount. So I'm kind of tempted to give it to my mages, so that they're not as weak. I think that's what I'm going to do. It'll also help with, like, their defense and their health and some other things. And then we'll distribute some Imperial Seals to everybody. This is good on defense. This is good on offense. You can have some extra health. Alrighty. Everybody's full items, except for our scout. Might as well give him some cross-trainers that have bonus hit on them. What else? Maybe something that gives him mana. Or health? He has a decent amount of health now. Yeah, I think I'm going to give him something that gives him mana. And... oh, I missed something for the warrior. Guess we'll just give him a belt. That ups his defense, or ups his attack and lowers his defense. So, as an axe user, that's pretty much what I want him to be. And... that pretty much sets us up for what I think will be the next episode. Do some checks real quick. Check in with the Dark Council. You know, really, if I wanted to, like, mega power level, I could probably promote Lahara one more time and start doing triple experience runs. But I think we're good for now. I think I will probably take a little bit of time between episodes to try and pass some of this peripheral stuff in the Dark Assembly. So, like, adding glasses, belts, and shoes to the shop. This would be a good idea. I might also... do people have enough mana for this? Not really. I need 300 mana to do something pretty awesome in here, but that's okay. So I will skip over that. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do I wear belt and shoes before next episode, if I can. It's a little bit difficult to pass, and I don't really have the influence for it right now. But we'll give it some shots, and I will let you know at the beginning of the next episode how that went. Alright, I think that will do it for now, then. Everybody have a great day, and I will see you next time for episode 7 of Let's Play Disgaea, Hour of Darkness, where we will start advancing the storyline. We will be going to Jotunheim, however it's pronounced, and seeing what trap awaits us there. Alright. Take care. See you next time.